Hey guys, this is Allie Edwards. I'm the creative editor at Creating Keepsakes magazine, and I am here today to tell you about 4 of my favorite tools that were featured in the June issue of Creating Keepsakes. Okay, so the first tool that I want to share with you today is probably my #1 go-to tool that I find myself grabbing all the time, and that is the Giga Square Punch from Marvy. Now, they've restructured this over the last couple of years and made it a little bit easier to use with this sort of a punch handle. #1 tip with this is to turn it over. A lot of times you see people and they've got it sitting down and they're pressing really hard on it. So much easier to simply turn it over. You can see where you're punching. I use this for both photos and for pattern papers. And then simple and easy, just punch it right out. And then if I wanted to, I could add it onto a layout such as this right here where I've got all my other squares already punched. Another one of my favorite tools that I use at home a lot is this color box stylus. One of my favorite inks are these cat's eye inks from Colorbox, and they came out with this great tool that allows you to actually stick the ink pad right onto the stylus. A lot of times when I'm at home, I will use just my hands, and after a while you feel like you don't have the same sort of precision. So I moved to this tool, and I'm really happy with the way that it works. So let me give you an example. Let's take one of these punched squares that I used the Giga Punch for. You simply just hold the tool in your hand, and you're rubbing the ink right on. It's double-sided, so you could have one color on one end and another color on the other end for blending as well. Very cool tool. All right, next here, since I started scrapbooking, I have almost always using a X-Acto knife. That has been one of the things. I don't know why I started using that for myself. I think that the first few trimmers that I used, I didn't feel like they cut straight enough. So I moved over to using a self-healing mat, a metal ruler, and then a retractable knife. And the reason why I'm showing you this cool tool from EK Success is because it is retractable. And if you have little kids like me, that's really kind of an issue. You want to, be safety conscious, be thinking safety first. So the greatest part about this tool is that it has this little lever right here that can push the knife up or pull it down. The blades, when you buy the package, the blades come in a small little plastic container, which makes it easy to remove them. You actually don't even have to touch the blades. And then when you're finished with a used blade, you can put them in the other end here. I will grab a photo. Here's one I've got of Simon. And I use the lines on the mat to help guide me. Take my ruler out, measure that up. 4 inches is what I'm looking for. Lay it down, again, using the lines on the mat as my guide, and then I just simply place the blade down and pull. You don't have to use a lot of pressure with these blades. Sometimes you'll see people and they're just really diving into that. You don't need to do that. Okay, and then the last tool I want to share with you today is another punch that is a tab punch, and this is from McGill. The thing that I love about these, I love using tabs. I love having things that come up off the top of my page. It doesn't bother me at all that when I look at my closed album, I have little things coming up. I actually love that. That's one of my favorite things right now. The great thing about this punch is that you can use it with any sort of pattern paper. You could use it with photos. You could use it with just regular lined paper, any sort of thing. Works the same as any other punch. Slide the paper in. Now this one is a little bit different than the one I showed in the beginning. I'm actually going to use both hands just to get the pressure to punch through. Comes out with a nice little shape, just looks like this. And then you simply fold it over. You fold it in half. One side is going to go underneath, the other side is going to go on top. And then I would use a stapler or adhesive to add that onto the page. So those are some of my favorite tools. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you pick up the June issue where you can read more about these tools, Becky and Lisa's favorites as well.